This training will cover Chapter 15, Sponsors of Unaffiliated Sites, Serious Deficiencies, and is presented by the Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs, also known as ODE-CMP. In this video, we will cover what a serious deficiency is, how to recognize a serious deficiency process and procedure requirements, and suspension of participation of sites. After this video, you will understand what a serious deficiency is, understand the requirements of a serious deficiency process and procedure, and understand the requirements to suspend participation of sites. The CACFP regulations define seriously deficient as the status of an institution or daycare home that has been determined to be non-compliant in one or more aspects in its operation of the program. There are several pieces to consider when determining if an issue rises to the level of serious deficiency. These include the severity of the problem. Is the noncompliance on a minor or substantial scale? Are the violations indicative of a systemic problem at the institution, or is the problem truly an isolated event? Even minor problems may be serious if systemic. Some problems are serious even though they've occurred only once. For example, missing menu items for one day out of the month would require technical assistance, while a second review with the same issue or numerous menu problems on an initial review could rise to the level of a serious deficiency. The degree of responsibility attributable to the institution. To the extent that evidence is available, can the sponsor determine whether the violations were inadvertent errors of an otherwise responsible institution? Is there evidence of negligence or a conscious indifference to regulatory requirements? The institution's history of participation in the program. Is this the first time the site is having problems, or has noncompliance occurred frequently at the same site? The nature of the requirements that relate to the problem. Are the institution's actions a clear violation of program requirements? Has the institution incorporated the new policies correctly? And the degree to which the problem impacts program integrity. Are the violations undermining the intent or purpose of the CACFP, such as misuse of funds for non-program purposes or simply an administrative error? The following situations are instances of serious deficiencies. First is the submission of false information on the application, submission of false claims for reimbursement, simultaneous participation under more than one sponsoring organization, noncompliance with program meal pattern, failure to keep required records, conduct or conditions that threaten the health or safety of a participant in care or the public health or safety. A determination that the center has been convicted of any activity that occurred during the past 7 years and that indicated a lack of business integrity. A lack of business integrity includes fraud, embezzlement, theft, forgery, falsification, or destruction of records. Please note that this list is not all-inclusive, and for additional examples that indicate a lack of business integrity, please refer to Section C in Chapter 15 of the CACFP Policy and Procedure Manual. Moving on, the 8th example is failure to participate in training, or any other circumstance related to non-performance under the sponsoring organization site agreement, as specified by the sponsoring organization or the state agency. That was a lot of information on serious deficiencies. Let's do a quick knowledge check on what we just learned. True or false, the institution's history of participation in the CACFP could impact if the site is serious deficient or not. The answer is true, depending on what area the site has findings on and the impact it has on the integrity of the CACFP. The amount of time the site has been on the CACFP can impact if the finding rises to the level of a serious deficiency. Next, which of these is not an example of a serious deficiency? Is it A, submission of false claims for reimbursement, B, failure to post the health inspection report, C, failure to keep required records, or D, failure to participate in training? The answer is B. Failure to post the health inspection report is not a serious deficiency. The rest of these could result in a serious deficiency determination. Sponsors must develop and implement a serious deficiency policy and procedure for when serious deficiencies are found at sponsored sites. The sponsoring organization is ultimately responsible for any serious deficiency of a sponsored site. Whether the site is declared seriously deficient based on the noncompliance of a site would depend on the frequency and severity of the error. Whatever action is taken, the sponsoring organization must be in compliance with the policies and procedures of the statute agency. If in conducting a site review, a sponsor detects one or more serious deficiencies, the next review of that site must be unannounced. Sponsors must develop and implement a procedure for when it determines that a site has committed one or more serious deficiencies listed in the section above. It must be based on 7 CFR 226.16 L3. If state or local health or licensing officials have cited a center for serious health or safety violations, the sponsor must immediately suspend the center's CACFP participation prior to any formal action to revoke the center's licensure or approval. If the sponsor determines that there is an imminent threat to the health or safety of participants at a center, or that the center has engaged in activities that threaten the public health or safety, and the licensing agency cannot make an immediate on-site visit, the sponsoring organization must immediately notify the appropriate state or local licensing and health authorities and take action that is consistent with the recommendations and requirements of those authorities. An imminent threat to the health or safety of participants in engaging in activities that threaten the public health or safety constitute serious deficiencies. However, the sponsoring organization must use the procedures in 7 CFR 226.6 L4 to provide the site notice of the suspension of participation, serious deficiency, and proposed termination of the site's agreement. True or false? If a state or local licensing official cites a center as posing a risk to health or safety, the sponsor has 5 days to suspend the center from the CACFP. This is false. There is not a time limit, and the sponsor must suspend the center from the CACFP participation before any formal action to revoke the center's licensure or approval. In this video, we reviewed what a serious deficiency is, how to recognize a serious deficiency process and procedure requirements, and suspension of participation of sites. ODE supports equity and excellence for every learner. This institution is an equal opportunity provider. Thank you for taking this training.